What's going on, everyone? John here from The Real Talk, back again with another review. And that is for Aladdin, which was directed by Guy Ritchie, starring Mena Massoud, Naomi Scott, and Will Smith. So obviously, this movie is a remake of the 1992 film of the same name, starring the great Robin Williams, right? So this film was surrounded by a bunch of controversy, a bunch of criticism before it was released, and I've gone on record. I kind of was the, I guess, the old bitter old sour man on Twitter saying, "Hey, I told everybody to not judge this movie before it comes out," because a lot of people were kind of reviewing this film saying, "Hey, surprisingly, Aladdin is good. It was great. Will Smith was actually great as a genie and stuff like that." It's like, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, a big believer of kind of just, okay, cool. It's cool to see pictures, trailers, and kind of discuss about film and stuff like that. But this movie was just getting bashed unfairly, just because we saw Will Smith being blue and unfinished CGI and stuff like that, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is why they shouldn't do remakes and blah blah." And look, I'm kind of, again, like what I was saying is that I'm a big fan of waiting to see the movie. Yeah, I had my hesitations about the movie too, but I'm not gonna bash a movie and say I hate it and say I'm not gonna watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm judging the film before I see it, and I'm a big believer in seeing the film, making your own opinion about it. Even if you hear all this stuff, criticisms, critics, and even a fan base, "Oh man, I really want to see Aladdin, but all those people said I shouldn't." I'm gonna skip it. No, go watch the movie if you had some interest in it. If you're interested in some way, shape, or form, go watch it and form your own opinion. Even if it's a bad one, it's still your own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's getting lost more and more now with film and stuff like that, and maybe I'm part of the problem as well. But I just kind of want to put that out there again. I always try to say that with a lot of reviews. But anyways, with all that being said, like I said, I kind of had my hesitation with this one as well. My thoughts on Disney remakes: if I stop watching them, they're still going to be made. So why not just accept the fact that they're going to watch it? I mean, make them. It's a business. Disney's about making money. So obviously, they're going to be making remakes. So might as well just sit back, try to enjoy the good ones. There has been some misses, and I think that Aladdin was, for the most part, a hit rather than a miss. There is some stuff about the movie that's kind of cheesy and kind of like the first 15 minutes of it. I was kind of in the theater and was like, "Yeah, man, I'm not into this. I can't. Even though the music and everything, it looked great, but I was just, this is kind of awkward. I felt kind of weird watching it, like, it kind of because I'm so used to seeing this character and these songs in animation form, and now that live action, sometimes it doesn't transition well, and I feel like they tried their best with the opening song, not the opening song, but just the opening song that Aladdin sings. And I was kind of like, I don't know. But once that opening act or whatever passed, I was all right, cool. And then a bit before Genie made his big appearance, I started really digging the film. They add a lot to the mythology, and they kind of add a lot of stuff that makes sense, makes the movie and the story a little bit more, "Oh, okay, well, now I understand." Well, this is a different interpretation. This is a remake, so we still have our animated movie, but they kind of add, like, "Oh, you know what? I always wondered that. I always was kind of thinking, oh, why does Abu just take the gem, like?" And he kind of doesn't have a motivation around it. But in this one, he kind of gets in trouble, Aladdin in trouble a little bit before that. He kind of see that Abu's kind of trying to, he's a little schemer. He steals a lot of things, obviously, but he kind of adds a little bit to Abu and saying, "Hey, now we kind of know why it's expected from him," because in the animation one, I never thought about it, but he kind of just does it. You know what I'm saying? Even though Aladdin tells him no, he still does it. But in this one, we see that he does that repeatedly, like repetitive. So it kind of makes sense. So even in the songs too, God damn, I'm forgetting the name of it. Prince Ali. There's some stuff. There's some lyrics in there. Even Friend Like Me, there's some lyrics that kind of make sense. And like, oh, well, you know what? In Friend Like Me, I don't think Aladdin said his name. So like when that part is like, oh, Mr. Aladdin, sir. And in this one, he says, Mr. What's your name? You know, like, so it's like, okay, cool. There's a lot of little subtle changes that I was like, all right, cool. This works for animation, for a big screen live action adaptation. One thing that didn't not work for me, though, it's not the actor's fault. Jafar. I just. I don't know. Maybe it did make sense to kind of make him more of a, younger guy trying to scheme his way to the top. But I don't know. I guess I got used to that old creepy dude, kind of trying to scheme his way to the top. But like, I don't know. I kind of his cheesiness or kind of his kind of over the top villainy was what I liked about Jafar, and he still has that a little bit. But I don't know. I just couldn't get into Jafar in this one. But something I really did dig was everything they added with Jasmine. I thought that was everything they added with her was great. The new songs were fantastic. Naomi Scott was a standout. I think from the work I've seen her in the movies and stuff like that, Power Rangers and stuff. She's been a great actress. In this one, she just brought something to the character that I didn't know was there. And they added a lot to Princess Jasmine, which I really really dug. They added some things to Genie too that surprisingly I ended up really liking. And yeah, man, I found myself tearing up in two parts. I watched the animated one the night before, and I teared up again in some parts. Aladdin's one of my personal favorite films overall. Also, one of my favorite animated films of all time. And man, just that story. I think I love that story. So anyway, it's told, I really connect with it, and I really enjoyed this one. It's seeing a bunch of the iconic moments in live action form was really great. Again, there was some cheesiness to it. Some things didn't really work for me, and there's just something about. Sometimes it just looked like a play, I guess, or kind of like a Broadway special. Kind of everything kind of seems staged, and maybe that was Guy Ritchie's direction. It's his first time directing like a musical, kind of. But there's a lot. Like again, I just had a great time with this movie. It is true to the original. It adds to the mythology. I feel like Will Smith did a great job in his interpretation of Genie. He made it his own, but also paying homage to the late great Robin Williams. And again, I don't feel like he was trying to be better than him. He's just trying to make his own, like kind of like the Joker, the Batman. You can only do your own interpretation of it, and I thought Will Smith did a great job with that. So yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't seen the movie, again, this is 2 weeks old already, probably 3 weeks at this point. But if you guys haven't seen the film, I highly recommend it. Like again, if you have any interest in watching it, go watch it, make your own opinion about it. But all right, guys, if you guys have seen the film, I'm pretty sure you guys have. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. If you guys want to follow us outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk with 2Ks on Twitter and Instagram. And also, you guys can follow us on Stardust, just at The Real Talk. And again, this goddamn chair, feeling myself getting lower and lower. Definitely got to get a new one. But yeah, guys, until next time, we'll see you at the movies. Peace.